What's up, everyone? It's Tuesday night, which means one thing. It's time for Power Rankings. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me this evening. I'm very excited to be here and break down the power because I'll tell you what, this season, at least the past few weeks, if anything, have shown that, it can go in any direction, and just when you think things are set in stone, they flip again and they get very, very fluid. And what I will say is, I'll tease y'all right now. I'm gonna tease y'all. There may have been, I don't know why I'm saying may, and y'all can read through the lines here. There may have been a switch up as to who might be first place. Yeah, the deck's shuffling, and people who were in power aren't necessarily in power anymore, and the people who weren't are getting some power. So, first of all, I'm going to say hi to who's in tonight. So we're going to do a quick roll call. Let me know your name and where you're listening from tonight. Maybe I'll read some names out, see where everyone's tuning in from this fine evening. So let me know in the comment section below. Lots of people in already. Very busy chat when I first started, so very happy about that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's reactions as to my power rankings this week. I feel like there are several different power rankings that you could state is the case in this house. But it seems as though I don't know. It's opinion, isn't it? Really, but you can also back it up with what's going on in there and look at the dynamics. But I also feel it can change like that, so it's hard to really pin it down because it shifts so fast. It's not like it's 100-year-old system. It's 6 weeks, right? And it's shifting very, very fast, and the power can go like that. So here we go. Let's see who's in tonight. All right, so we've got Justin from Texas. Hi there, Justin. And Justin's a member of the channel. I see your name in green, Justin, so hell yeah, my friend. And then we've got Katie Boatman, who's also a member of the channel, who says Chief has a front row seat tonight. Oh, well, woof woof to Chief. Okay, I really want to make sure I get the pronunciation right here. We've got Azel. I hope that's right. Azel from St. Louis. And then we've got hi Tim. Well, you almost got that one, but it says love from Dallas. Thank you, Jacqueline. Or should I say Jacqueline? I'll meet her in the middle there. Jacqueline, thank you. Hi Cam or Cammy from South Carolina. Hi there, Cammy. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Hello from Orlando, Florida. Well, hi there, Brandy. We've got Amy in Arizona. Stephen Crotwell's in the house. He says hi, Tom. Hi, Stephen. Pamela is in from Minnesota. We've got another Orlando from it's Paul Davidson from Orlando. And then we've got Mark from the Bay Area in California, Dale from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Everyone's from everywhere. We've got Pa Goose from West Tennessee, Jen from Dallas. Whoa, okay, and Cammy's coming back saying, why did I type South Carolina? I'm literally from North Carolina. I don't know, love. I don't know, that one's on you. Yeah, okay. Oh, Dak Chats is in the house. Hi, Dak. Hope you're doing well, friend. Then we've got Count Your Blessings from New Hampshire. We got people from all over. This is fantastic. Miles from nowhere, from New York City. Lucky from Iowa. Y'all are representing the entire board tonight. Have we got anyone outside? We got anyone outside America tonight? We got any Canadians in the house? Because I know we've got viewers from around the world. I mean, in the PO Box series we did, we had someone from Sweden. That was probably the furthest out. But yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay, we've got B from Nova Scotia. There we go. We got a Canadian in the house tonight. All right, gang. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump right in and find out who is at number 12. He's gone from somewhat of a hero to somewhat of a zero. It's Kamu. Yeah, look at that. 9 down. He managed to worm his way back in, didn't he? After the lyric blindside, he got his way back in. But then people started to get a good gauge on how he works. He plays aggressively. He gets caught up, and then he smooth talks people to get back in. And that's if that happens once, yeah, you can work your way back in. But if that happens over and over and over and over and over and over again, people are going to start to go, all right, you're not as smooth as you think you are. And he tried to get too slick, He's very confident in the game. He's also very arrogant. but he also is very good at kind of not taking things personally when it, goes in his direction. He's able to kind of think rationally, take himself out of it. But again, I think that also scares people because he almost comes across, and I keep using this word, a politician. He is a smooth talker and he can make you buy into things, but then it's just rinse and repeat over and over again, and then everyone starts to go, oh, okay, so your real morals are that you're absolutely just full of shit. That's kind of where I think Kamu has landed himself in the house. He is the target this week. There are 2 scenarios in which he goes this week, and both of them happen when he's on the block. So basically, he has to get off the block if he wants to survive this week. I think there are certain people who are still going to battle for him and will stick their necks out for him. But what I will say is that I think this week specifically, I don't think he has the numbers. If he had the numbers, I'd have him higher, but quite frankly, the numbers are there right now. If you were to take a snap vote and said, all right, if Julie appeared on the screen right now and said, all right, gang, we're evicting someone now, it would be Kamu because the votes are there. So yeah, this week he is low, but if he manages to get through again and he manages to evade capture, then he's off like a rocket again, and then he can charm those people. Honestly, I'd shame everyone for not getting him out because, like I said, he is a politician in this house. He's very good at taking emotion out of it and weaponizing that against other people. So, I can feel a sneeze coming on. I'm going to step away from the mic for a second. Bless me. Okay, now I'm back. All right, let's hope it's not a double. Kamu is quite full of shit, but he's very, very good at making people believe that he actually stands for something. Just even the way he was talking to Mallerie today. Double sneeze. Maybe. No. Do you know when you think it? Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We got to bless you there from Sam. I appreciate that. When he was talking to Mallerie today, again, it's just he's so slippery and slimy, and he's able to just kind of, he works his way in, but I think Mallerie's starting to see through it now. And I just think his time might be up soon. And even if it isn't this week, he's going to have to solely rely on comp wins to get through, because I just think people see through the facade of, I'm this strong person who can lead the charge and you can believe in me, only for him to just, he gets complacent in the power, he gets aggressive, and that causes his downfall, and then he has to revert back to being slimy again to get back in. And when you have to constantly do that, people are naturally going to go, all right, I can't really trust this guy. So that's why he's at number 12 this week. If he doesn't win Blockbuster, he's probably going home. So that's Kamu at number 12. Moving into 11th, we have the wonderful, did I say wonderful? I didn't mean that. Haley. Guess I'm getting a little spicy this week. Yeah. Haley she's dead in the water. I feel like at this point, Haley is so disliked and so, I don't know, she's just not with the game really. And she's not very pleasant to people. I think she has landed herself in a position where it doesn't really matter what you do with Haley, because everyone knows she's not going to win. So now she's kind of turned into this figure that is, we'll keep Haley around because getting rid of her, we're not going to get rid of someone who's going to not win the game, right? And also, they know she can win comps, and she's got bigger fish to fry as well. So you go, all right, we'll keep Haley around, so then maybe she'll take a shot at this person or whoever. And it kind of works, right? And that's going to get Haley a little bit deeper in this game. However, if Kamu wins the Blockbuster this week, I think it's Haley who goes. So that's why she is still only one from the bottom, because all it takes is Kamu to win Blockbuster and then she's a goner. So, yeah, she is... I mean, Jess is a mess kind of said it there. She is very hypocritical. I'm going to try and... I'm going to paint a picture here. So... imagine there is a bear, and let's just say this bear is a house guest, and Haley is stood next to this bear, and she has a stick, and she pokes the bear, and then the bear reacts, and she goes, why would you do that? Why are you bullying me? Why is this? Why is this? I don't understand. You know, I'm not like that. I'm not gonna. At least I can come out with my head held high and say I didn't bully anyone. She is very, very, very frustrating, hypocritical, and she plays the victim. She pokes the bear and then plays the victim. But I can see right through it, and I think the majority of viewers can. I'm hitting the nail on the head there, right, guys? Give me some indication in the comments right now that I'm onto something there, because I feel like that's how it goes. And then to top it all off, she's always having a worse day than you. So with Hayley, it's just like you can't really win. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you might as well just keep her there, because she's not going to win, and you know she's probably, and there's certain people she's just not going to target as well. So yeah, it makes sense to keep her around, because that's it. They know how she operates at this point. She's easy. Whereas Kamu, you know he can operate. He's a bit more of a smooth operator. Whereas Hayley, it's just you know exactly who she is. You know she's having a bad day. You know she's going to try and piss someone off, and then when someone has a reaction, she'll accuse them of bullying, or she'll accuse them of saying you did this, or I can't believe you would do this. I would. That's not me. At least I can walk out of this house with my head held high. It's usually those people who grab onto integrity that I just go, okay, yeah, no. That's the point where I go, I don't really take any of your words seriously. You all signed up for a show like Big Brother where you backstab, you betray, you have to lie, you gotta do what you gotta do. So then when this whole moral integrity bullshit starts to come around, whether it's on Survivor or Big Brother, it just makes me want to go, get lost. Get freaking lost. How dare you come onto a show that is about, manipulation and lying and twisting things, to then stand there and actively poke people, piss them off, and then turn around and say, I didn't do anything. I'm being very, my integrity. At least I can keep my head held high. Get lost. I can see through it. That's why you're in 11th. You're not going to win the game. Happy days. Let's move on to 10. Oh wow, that was good, right? That was good. So I had to get that out there. I could see the super thanks started coming in there as well when I started doing the vent. Maybe I got to do more rants. Keep the super thanks coming in, but thank you so much for Dexter Stratton for 10 jewels, and to Jess is a mess. That's very, very kind, Jess, who says a down payment for a rant from Sam about Hayley, or a gush about Angela. Sam, which one do you fancy? Do you fancy ranting about Hayley, or do you fancy gushing about Angela?
I want to put some positivity out there and gush about Angela with maybe a couple stabs.
Just okay. Well, I don't know if y'all could hear that, but basically Sam said they will join us to give a little bit of a gush about Angela later when we see where Angela is on the list. And maybe a few comments on Hayley as well. But you're not gonna have to wait too long, because in a 10th is Angela. So Angela took a hit this week. She took a hit, big hit, down to 6th, or down by 6 from 4th to 10th. H2O. I feel like Angela again. I did have her higher, but then I thought to myself, there's been times this season where I've thought it's game set match for certain people, or the person who should be safe on the block ends up being the target. Yeah, and I still think it can flip. It can flip. Not that it's going to, but it can. So I'd be naive to put Angela higher, I think, because she's still in jeopardy, and I don't necessarily think she's going to win the blockbuster. So I do think she will be sat on the block come eviction night. It's tough though, because I wouldn't really say it's necessarily too much on her game. I mean, yes, she's gotten more paranoid, but if Yash hadn't won HOH, she'd still be much higher up. But that's how the cookie crumbles in Big Brother, right? Your enemy wins head of household, or somebody you haven't been working with wins head of household, and then all of a sudden you're on the block. But you know what? I will say this season, she's definitely holding it together more than she did last time. That's kind of her saving grace. And I do expect a bump back up next week. But again, these numbers are dwindling. After this week, there's going to be, I believe, 11 people left. So that's, and the icons could be 3 of them. 3 of 11. Then you get down to 10, then you get down to 9. And if you're at 9, the icons are a third of the house if they still haven't got anyone out. So, yeah, I don't know. Things are tipped in their favour for sure right now, but she's facing a bit of jeopardy this week. This is the week where the icons have been in the most jeopardy so far. But I think she's going to make it through this week. Could be wrong, but I don't know. Yash has done the thing this week. I'm really not going to like mess around on him either, because whether Haley goes, whether Angela goes, or whether Kamu goes, Yash got a big figure out, and that's something on the resume. So while I know Yash is a little bit worried about, I wanted it to be Angela to go this week, whether Angela goes, whether Kamu goes, or whether Haley goes, he's successfully managed to behead someone who doesn't really have his back in this game, and also has been a big name this season. He can sit there and go, I was the one who took this person out. So yeah, Yash has had a good HOH no matter how you cut it, in my opinion. Diamond Power of Veto or not, he's had a good one. I'm seeing a couple of comments here saying Tom got married. Yeah, I got married last year. Yeah, that was. I forget. Like I do get comments every now and then of people going, "Tom got married. This didn't happen." Yeah, I guess it just escaped some people, but yes, I did. I did get married. Look, there we go. There's the ring on the finger. I got married to the love of my life, who's sat right there, right now, and I moved to America. I now live in Massachusetts. There's an update. I live in Massachusetts in America, and have done for a minute now. So yeah, that did happen. Tom, do you still have that souvenir cup that looks like you're taking a rip while drinking water? Good times. It might be somewhere. Maybe I've got to crack that out by the end of the season. Nothing but a tumbler tonight. A little bit of whiskey. Thought I'd enjoy a bit of whiskey to for the update. I like her more this season compared to 26, but she isn't a favourite. There's something more fun, isn't there, about, you know, rooting for Angela when she's more chaotic, but I have more respect for her when she's gaming harder. So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of mixed emotions there. Congratulations to you and Sam. Thank you. That's very, very kind. That's very, very sweet. Me and Sam have had quite the journey on this channel. It's really, really almost storybook in a way. So let's move on to 9th. Actually, wait, no. We made a promise. Jess put a down payment down. Sam's giggling in the corner right now. So are we ready? Sam, are you ready to gush about Angela?
Always.
And maybe put a couple of comments in.
Always.
Maybe about Haley. Okay, come on in, Sam. There we go.
Hi. I'm here to talk about my queen, even though she's 10th this week.
Well, it's not. She's not playing bad.
How dare you?
Well, she's
She's on the block.
Right. And that's justification enough, right?
Yeah.
To put someone that low down.
She has like no power this week, so fair. But she's still always gonna be my queen.
Am I gonna pay for this later? Putting her in 10th?
No, I'm kidding.
No.
No, it makes sense because she's on the block.
It does, yeah.
But in my head, she's not on the block.
In your head, she's number 1.
She's HOH in my head.
And they break the rules every week, right? And Angela is allowed to win back-to-back HOHs.
Yes, exactly.
Week after week.
Week after week.
After week after week after week.
See, you're starting to get the picture.
Starting to.
You're
Thank
starting
you.
to get the picture.
Thank
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Sam's spicy tonight.
When am I not spicy?
That's true.
I always have a little tahini on the rim.
I know. I just thought Haley would be the target, not me. I got more than I bargained for there, folks.
Well, Thog.
Thog, are you doing Haley now?
Well, Thog.
Okay. In fact, let me ask you. Should I ask you a few questions? And then
sure.
you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. First of all, with Angela, can she win this season?
It's not looking likely, but she can pick it up. She can pick it up. She can get far. She'll get far.
Are we doing a dance?
Maybe she can surprise us. Maybe she can surprise us.
Okay, I guess we're dancing now, folks. Hey, yeah.
I'm just trying to manifest it.
Yeah. Yeah. She hasn't. She could get HOH next week for all
She
we know.
could.
She could survive on
She
Thursday and win. You know?
And then we could have another Crazy Eyes.
I mean, I feel like
Matt.
it's a classic. It's a classic.
It is a classic.
Do you feel like her legacy is enhanced or tarnished from this being on?
Enhanced.
I think so as well. Overall, right?
Enhanced, because here's the thing: is Angela is a extremely polarizing character.
Mm-hmm.
People either love her or they hate her, and there's not really an in between. Extremely polarizing.
In fact, should we put that to test in the chat right now?
Yes.
Is there anybody who's kind of impartial with Angela? I want to see those people come out the woodworks, because we always hear from
it's a rarity.
we always hear from the people who love Angela, and you most definitely hear from the people who hate Angela. You hear more of people who they hate rather than who they love, but I don't know why, but that seems to be just the way people would rather say, I hate this person rather than the person they love. But I'm interested in the people who are kind of in the middle with Angela, who is I want a bit, a little bit of neutrality, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there who's thinking, yeah, she's all right, but I'm not like obsessed?
Because you're a rare species.
Very rare, very rare species.
You're unique. You're kind. One of a kind. That's what I mean.
You're kind.
You're kind. English sometimes doesn't work.
I was going to say, 90-day goals say Sam is from here, right?
Oh, yeah. I am from America. I'm from Massachusetts.
Born in the USA.
Born in the USA.
I think Bruce Spring...
Born in the USA.
That was better. That was better. Yeah, that was...
I was just warming up.
Yeah, that was all right. I think the boss might be slightly underwhelmed with that one, but, you tried. Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Divorce. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah. So Angela, she's very polarizing, but I will say, like, coming in, she was way more polarizing. But with this season, I feel like people have softened around her a bit. If they hated her, they're all right about her now, or they love her now.
Mm-hmm.
Neutral. Oh, there's a good amount of neutrals. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. We got a few neutrals.
Okay, neutrals.
Okay, so Bella Martin says neutral, unless she screws over Devens. We've got Amy K who says, I can take her or leave her. And Sleepy Scooter says, I love to watch her, but I can't stop thinking about how she really messed up Matt's life by calling him Crazy Eyes. He never got over it.
He at least posts about it at least like 5 times a day.
I am gonna give my 2 cents on that. I don't necessarily. I think that's a strong phrase to say that she messed up Matt's life over calling him Crazy Eyes.
It was sarcasm.
But I mean, if it was sarcasm, I'm fully with you. But there are people who think that though. There are people who really think.
Oh wow.
That Matt's life got destroyed by her, and.
Well, he's obviously never let go of it.
I mean,
that's for sure.
I think there's two. I think there's two things. I think there's one where it was like, yeah, Angela was intense, but at the same time, Matt did make it his entire personality.
It's been 2 years, but
and just goes on and on and on about it.
You were first boot.
Well,
it's been 2 years. Yeah. Sorry, man.
Yeah. I don't know. It just to me, I just thought like Matt talks a lot about how. How annoying it was and how difficult of an experience it was, yet he posts all the time about it. And I'm like, okay, so which one is it? Do you like the attention or do you not like the attention?
He's also always preaching about letting go and peace and love and all that, but...
Okay, so it was
sarcasm.
It was sarcasm.
That's what I thought.
That went right over my head. I should be ashamed of myself.
It's okay, honey. It's okay.
Okay, thank you. I feel so much better now.
It's
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. I realized I didn't give my 2 cents on Thog.
Well, no, but I was going to ask you the next question about Angela, which is so are you done watching the season if she goes this week?
No.
You keep going.
I'm not the kind of fan to be like, I'm done with the season if my favorite person leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because I mean there's still great characters in there. There's Devens, there's Dee.
Yep.
I mean, I like some other people there too.
Yep.
Like I love Mallerie.
Mm-hmm.
She's the sweetie. Melody's really funny. Drew and Barrett they're interesting characters, like...
While I've got you, actually.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Drew?
Thoughts on Drew? I'm just kind of mind blown at how he was able to take that target off his back.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I feel like when a floater becomes known and everyone knows they're a floater, like that's it for them. Like that their game is already laid out for everybody.
Mhm.
Once it starts to click, they're like, "Oh, this person's a floater. Like we cannot trust them."
Mhm.
But Drew was just able to like get right back into the fold. And all these people like they're not talking about him anymore,
Mhm.
which I think is crazy. Like you got to talk about Drew. He's like playing both sides still and you guys are aware of it, but you're still letting it happen. It's crazy.
I'm seeing a contender for the crown actually.
Yep.
In Drew.
I agree.
And then Barrett. And be
Barrett.
careful because we know one of our wonderful moderators on this
Yes!
channel,
Yes!
E. Gracie, is a massive Barrett fan.
Yeah. You know, I'm still holding out a little hope because I say this every year that, and I'm sure if people have watched these streams enough, they've heard me say this, that information is currency. And you have to be like, you got to hold the cards close to your chest. You can't give out all the information you have on week 2. You have to like wait until the right moment pops up and then they're like, I've got this golden nugget of information for you and use it towards their game and have some leverage.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Barrett can do that at some point, but it also does kind of seem like he might not do anything about it. Who knows?
Do you think he's got a backbone in this game or not?
From what I've seen so far, no. But he could surprise us.
Well, here's the thing. Barrett is in a decent position this week, and his floating has kind of worked out. And we'll talk about this a little bit later when we get to Barrett. But, you know, being in FAP.
I'm sorry, that's so funny.
being in the FAP alliance. I don't get paid enough for this. Being
Every time I hear it.
being in the FAP alliance and now, you know, taking the FAP. Live laugh FAP, yeah. Being in the FAP alliance and being able to take the FAP and merge the FAP with the crossovers. You've then got crossover FAP.
Sounds like an orgy.
You said it, not me. So...
Oh, sorry, Katie.
Well, yes, again, every single time I say FAP around here, I have to apologize because I feel like someone's grandma probably just spat out their tea. But yeah, the FAP alliance is working out, and the FAP merging with the crossovers has actually put Drew and Barrett into 2 of the most powerful positions in this game. Arguably higher. Well, y'all will see further down the line.
No spoilers.
There's a lot of FAP. There's a lot of crossover, and it's put them in a good position. Merge the FAP. I'm gonna quickly tab back to our. I keep saying wonderful, but let's tab back to Haley, and I'm gonna ask you. I am going to. I wonder where this is going. I am going to ask you a few questions. Yeah. Honestly, okay. In fact,
give me some guidance, or else I'll just be all over the place.
That's kind of what I want. I'm just gonna. Do you know what? Sam said it, not me. Sam, I'm getting out of this seat. Everyone, for the next few minutes, this is TV.
Interview.
This is TV Talks with Sam.
Sam,
Sam, take the floor. Take the floor, love.
I'm ready for my interview.
Yeah, take the floor. There you go. You might have to move the seat up a little bit because they might not be able to see you down there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's the weather like down there, Sam?
What's the weather like?
Sam, why don't you tell the wonderful people of YouTube, what do you think of Haley? Here we go.
I'm having a bad day. I'm having a bad day listening to you all the time, Thog. I'm sorry. I can't. Sorry. She's just. Oh, she's so. it's hard to formulate the words. It's just, when you can just see someone's got a mean spirit to them and that they're always miserable.
Well, it's hardly invisible, you know.
Yeah. She's just miserable, and I just can't stand people who just, like, are just in a cycle of just being miserable and then, like, projecting it onto everyone else.
See, that's it, isn't it? Because it's like, it's one thing being miserable, but it's when you're, like, taking it out on
Other people. It's like, yeah, you can be miserable, whatever. Like, that happens. People have their miserable days, their miserable cycles of life, whatever. But when you put it onto other people and you project, that's where I have an issue. Like, just calm down and stop being so rude.
Yeah, no, I think, to me, the thing that really, really gets me annoyed is how she does the moral integrity shit.
Right.
When she again, it's like that thing, and I keep bringing it up. She pokes the bear reacts, and then she's like, "Why are you reacting?"
She plays victim. Yeah, she plays victim, and she's not self-aware in the slightest. Not self-aware at all.
Is there any scenario? Okay, in fact, I feel like I know what your answer is going to be. It's going to be no. But if Haley could beat anyone in the final two, who would she have to take?
Kamu? No, not even Kamu.
Because
Kamu's played better than her. I can't. Maybe Yash?
No, Yash has put himself on the map, I think.
Yeah, but like, does 1 week do that? We'll have to see in the future. But
it's a hard case.
It is really hard. I really, honestly, I just can't think of a scenario in which she wins against anyone, because I don't think she's played a great game, first and foremost. She hasn't been, like, her strategic prowess is just not really there. I think she's not self-aware. I don't think she has any, like, game, what's the word called? Prowess? Or, like, it doesn't come naturally to her. And she's just...
And she's had the position, hasn't she, to, like, change it around?
She has. And I also don't think the jury wants to vote for someone that they've just had an awful time living in the house with. I mean, it's a rare case in which that happens, but I can see already that her jury management, not going to be good. Not going to be good.
She's the kind of person who would insult the jury.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, she'd probably get questioned by the jury and somehow manage to still insult them further.
Yeah, I also think she, like, doesn't take accountability for herself. She's not very self-aware. And I think that's what a lot of juries look for. They at least want someone to pretend that they're being self-aware and say, yeah, no, I did mess up with that, or blah, 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 and, like, things like that, rather than, like, coming at them defensively. Juries hate when people start getting, like, defensive and they can't back it up. So I could just see that happening with her. And I've seen enough of these games, Big Brother, Survivor, any game with, like, a jury, to know how they operate. It's pretty similar each year, even if there's a bidder or a non-bidder. Across the board, people like to at least... They like to be fed what they want to hear, and they want to hear someone at least saying they're taking accountability, even if they're not.
That's humans for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's a human game at its core.
Yeah.
You can play as well as you want to, but if you don't take accountability, that's the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
And I would argue that lack of accountability actually is what has lost people Big Brother more than any other
absolutely
in the entire history of the show.
Yeah, like, there has been scenarios in which somebody could have won if they had, like, there's just so many paths that could have happened. They could have won if they had just been like, yeah, you're right, like, I messed up on that front.
Do you want to bring up some examples?
Well, I would say Paul.
Paul's the one that comes to my mind.
Paul is the biggest example when it comes to bad jury management.
It was one vote though for Paul.
One vote. But Paul could have made a big difference if they had only, not been so, like, cocky about it. Like, they went in being like, yeah, I'm already the winner. And on one hand, that mentality can help you during your speech for confidence, but on the other hand, it can look like you're arrogant and that the jury and that you feel like you don't have to present anything to the jury. And the jury, they always like to feel important. And if you don't make them feel important by at least trying to make your case, then they're going to be like, well, I'm just going to vote for the other person because they want to feel important. Yeah. Yeah, Tom needs the mic.
I'll hop back in. Can we all give Sam a hand? That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Sam. Always lovely to have you. You made no points that I didn't agree with. Yeah, Sam has got a great gauge on the game. You know, that's what we bonded over in the first place. We both hit it off over Big Brother, and look where we are now, sharing a bed. So that's how life goes. Thank you, Sam, for joining us there. I'm sure Sam will pop back in next week. So everyone, give it up for Sam, please. My wonderful, wonderful spouse. How amazing is Sam? Seriously, how lucky am I? All right, let's move on to 9th place. We have Lala. Little disappointed to have Lala here, if I'm being totally honest. I'm sad because I think she was in a position where she could have. She was there, you know. She had head of household. She could have put herself into a better position, but it seems like she's just kind of fallen back into the fold. I think it's large in part to the attitude that came out of her when she won head of household. Like, it was this badass moment. Everyone was like, whoa, and she should have used that as like leverage, but I think the power went to her head just a little bit and she started getting a little bit rude, I think, with people. It also doesn't help that she's in Haley's crosshairs. Like, those two really don't like each other, and I think that's a death sentence. If Haley comes for you, it's just like, I mean, it's like a spaceship going past a black hole, you know? Haley being the black hole. There's not really much of a chance you're going to escape the black hole, because she kind of just sucks everything inwards to her. And Lala's unfortunately not high enough to be able to avoid that. So yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Lala this week because, again, she's trying to just kind of survive in there. But yeah, Gracie, I'm going to actually read your comment out to sum it up. Not shocked. I knew her HOH would be her one-time stand. It was a 1-week stand, right? And I would be shocked if she got power again. She only falls from here, in my opinion. I agree. Are we all of the same belief there? Do we think that it's kind of dead in the water for Lala? I don't think it's over yet, but I think she's had her moment. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But hey, like, I honestly thought Lala would leave this season being, you know, just a background character. And I still think she's somewhat of a background character, but she will always have that epic HOH win on the wall that I think we'll still be talking about for years to come. All right, let's move into 8th. Yeah, it is unfortunate, but that's the game. I'm really sneezy tonight. Bless me. Oh my word. Must be my allergies or something. Which is crazy. I never really had allergies. Then I moved to Massachusetts, and I'm going again. Hold up.
New England allergies.
It's I had never had allergies in that. That's so bad. Okay. All right. Sorry about that, guys. We may have to take a few sneeze breaks in the future, but we'll see. A sneeze break is a new thing. It's what all the kids are doing. It's up and coming. Sneeze break. All right. We've got Taylor in 8th. She's a little higher than Lala because I feel like when it comes to those two, they're a duo for sure. But I feel like Taylor is the brains behind. Yeah, she's the brains behind it. And before we break that down, I'm just going to go get some water, and I'll be right back with you folks. All right, gang. Back to it. I do enjoy these streams. I enjoy how kind of laid back they are compared to the updates. I do enjoy the updates, of course, but I really do. I do love doing these streams. They're a lot of fun. And I love seeing people in real time. I love seeing who's in the house and who's talking and whatnot. And there's so many members around as well, which kind of leads to a good moment right now that I'll say is if you fancy becoming a member on the channel, then please do consider it. You know, you can do so for as little as less than $1 a month. It's really, yeah, literally 99 cents, and you get a cool badge next to your name, and you get a bunch of emojis to go with it as well that you can use in these live chats. And if you're also looking for just more TV Talks with Tom content, then you can actually become a head of household on the channel, and that's just a little bit more, and you'll get an exclusive video every Sunday. So I would appreciate if you feel like supporting the channel and you get a kick out of these videos, then any kind of support really does mean a lot to me and genuinely goes a long way. So please consider becoming a member. All right, Taylor. She is the brains behind her and Lala. I feel like every time Lala gets astray, Taylor's the one who goes, "All right, come back here. Come back here. Let me let me coach you." And while I did have will you send us onesies of yourself? I love that reference to Kevin. I love that. Kevin from BB19. Brilliant. Brilliant reference there, Katie. And I think Taylor, oh man, it feels like she's always so close to like busting through the barriers, and then the switch up happens. But I do think that this is a product of how she spent the first few weeks of the game a little bit isolated from everybody else, not really. I don't know. I think she hindered herself. However, she's really stepped it up in the last few weeks. Bit of a hit though. Last week I believe was the highest she'd been. So it's difficult with Taylor because I feel like I'm gonna give it my gut. My gut is saying she's not a winner. My gut is saying she doesn't have enough wiggle room, and I think. I also think having to manage Lala is probably. But she doesn't have to. She could walk away. But like she is seen as the brains. I think between those two, and having to manage two people's game kind of takes away focus of what she could be focusing on her. But I think since the start, Taylor hasn't really fully got the game, and that's no insult to her. I'm not trying to be like mean or an asshole or anything to her, but I don't think she has very good game chops. Those first few weeks are so integral in making that foundation that you can fall back on, or even just planting a few seeds that you can work down later. But it feels like not many seeds were planted, not much foundation was made, and she's kind of got a lack of wiggle room. And the only way she gets catapulted to the top really is if she or one of her closest allies, which there are not many of, win head of household, which means she's still quite low in the power. But low enough where she's still higher than Lala and the nominees, but not a lot higher. E. Gracie says, but Taylor has a lot of fans online. Yeah, I mean, that's usually the case. People who aren't always at the top do get a lot of fans. And it's funny because then when that person goes to the top, it switches around and people become a fan of the person at the bottom. Like, there is a genuine fan base for Haley at this point. People are riding for Haley now she's at the bottom. But that, I feel like that's just seems like some kind of force that just manages to sort itself out every single time. But what I mean, people do, when they get their favorites, they get very, very vocal about it online. And sometimes people refuse to see other angles. They see the good things about someone's game and refuse to see the blind spots that have landed them in that position and blame another house guest. It's their fault. But there's no smoke without fire, right? It takes two to tango. There's a million of those kind of phrases. And while Taylor's not a bad player by any means, it would be hard to say that she's a good player. That's why she's in 8th this week. Okay, moving on. We've got our first fapper. It's shouldn't have said that, should I? We have Mallerie in 7th. She's steadily going up. And this is a product of FAP. She is in the FAP alliance with which CBS, has so kindly turned around and said, no, you need to make it American and family friendly. So they are now 4 American people. How patriotic. But yes, that is not the actual name of the alliance, by the way. If you've been watching feeds, you will know exactly what it is. I talked about it on my live feed update yesterday or this morning. All the days blur together. I tell you what, when you're a live feed updater, folks, hell, when you're a live feeder, you will know all the days blur together. It's so funny because while Sam's been busier at work this season, so hasn't been keeping up with Big Brother as much as usual. So when I'm saying to Sam, it's crazy. Like when you're in Big Brother season, there isn't Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Thursday. It's Friday and all these days of the week. They now get replaced with it's eviction night, or it's veto day, or it's nomination day. You just completely lose track of time. But yes, Melody, I think she's great, isn't she? As a viewer, oh my word, brilliant. But I still think, and please don't bite my head off, folks, I think she is the one who still has the most friction of the people within the mosh pit. Again, I'll remind everybody, the mosh pit is FAP, Drew, Barrett, Mallerie, and Melody, combined with the crossovers, Rick Devens, Dee, and Angela. So I do have to put Melody at the bottom, unfortunately. I wish I could put her higher, because boy, do I like her. But I still think she has... Yeah. Make some noise. If you're a fapper, no, that doesn't... Do you know what? I jumped in the deep end. I might as well keep going. Make some noise if you're a fapper. Who's a fapper? Have we got any fappers out? You're quite tickled by that, aren't you? You're crying over there, right? We got some fappers. Make some noise if you're a fapper. Come on. She is of the FAP brigade. You can't say anything, right? Can you? Of the FAP brigade, she... Jeez, I'm already getting ideas in my head of songs I could do, some parody songs here. I feel like there's something there. Of the fappers, she is... I'm a dapper. Are you not a dapper fapper? Of the fappers, she is the one who definitely has the most friction with the rest of the house. I think she again is somebody where if the power flips, or just doesn't even need a flip, she's easy enough to put up on the block, which is why she's at the lowest there. I do like her though. She's great. Mallerie, I think, is higher than her at this point, even though those two are usually next to each other on the board. There is definitely something separating Mallerie, I think, from Melody. Mallerie, I think, is a lot more liked than Melody. Even though people do like Melody, I still think there's just more friction there. But yeah, 7th is the highest Melody has been all season, so she's doing something right. So, you know what? Sometimes a good fap gets you where you need to be. And it worked for Melody. She's in 7th now. She's up by 3. Is that what it's saying in the comment section? Is it all coming under review?
Everyone, I'm having to click show.
See, I can't see that from here. So Sam's moderating over in the corner over there, and Sam's having to approve every single time someone's saying "fap" as it's coming through. It's 4 American people. What are we talking about? It's all very classy and above board. I don't get what the fuss is, YouTube. Oh god. Yeah, well done, Melody. You're fapping your way to the top. That is absolutely brilliant for you. It doesn't stop, does it? The best faps don't. But she is... Okay, well, I'm going to read out what Mark says here. So Mark says, Melody and Mallerie actually control the vote this week, it seems. I do agree Melody is actually at the bottom of the 4, though, because she is the least social. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, the FAP have came into the prime position where you know, it's fap fever. I don't know how else to say it. It's fap fever in that house. And Sam's dying over there. There is fap fever in the house this week. And but she is. She is the lowest of the four. But she's a fapper, all right. And that's why she's up there. And I think the middle ground, even though I've been dogging on a lot of the floating, I did say I would give it the benefit of the doubt, and then lo and behold, bada bing, bada boom, all of a sudden, the people who are in the middle are now actually in the controlling position. Good for them. Really great for them. So, let's move on to 6th. It isn't a fapper this time. It's Yash. Yash was the hardest one for me to put in this week because I thought, is he fully lower than the mosh pit? Or is he kind of in there somewhere? He's hardly at the top because his head of household has been completely undermined by the people in the power. His target was Angela, and Devens has waltzed right in and said, nope, we're using the diamond power of veto, and derailed, essentially, his head of household. And while I say derailed, he's still getting something out of his head of household. He's either going to lose Kamu, Haley, or Angela. That's 3 big names. When people look back at Big Brother 28, those 3 names will always be in the discussion. Good or bad, I don't care what your opinion is. They will be in the discussion. And Yash is going to get rid of one of them. So, you know what? This man has probably grown in the game more than anyone. More than any other person this season. His game has grown more. So I can't help but take my hat off to him. Because he's while he's not exactly the greatest player, he's got fight in him. I feel like the Yashes of the season usually just like they're at the beck and call of whatever people want. And I love D. You all know I love D. But I loved even more that Yash said to D, I don't want your bribe. You can stick your bribe where the monkey keeps his nuts. He didn't actually say that, but that was the essence of it. He said, you can stick it where the sun don't shine, and I'm going to nominate you. And he did. Again, wasn't that aggressive, of course, but that was, I don't know what the word is, ballsy, I guess. It was just good for him. Seriously, good for him. Game, 7 out of stars. Haircut, that's another rating. But he's doing all right, isn't he, this lad? For somebody who was almost the first boot of the season, he's making his mark, and I think he's gonna at least be in the jury stage, which I wouldn't have predicted ever. So, yeah, Yash, keep going, break through the fap, and maybe he can get there. But again, I think this is the highest Yash has been on the board so far. He's up at 6th. He was at 9th last week. He was kind of gradually going up. Then he took a hit, and then all of a sudden, this head of households bumped him back up again. I do think he is in an interesting position where I don't think too many people are going to be retaliatory. Like if Angela comes off, I think Angela wins head of household. That's when Yash needs to worry. But for the most part, I think he's still got people who like him. Even if it is just a fap off until, the final 7, I still think there is room for him to maneuver. I think he's got people in there that might go, all right, we'll try and work with Yash this week and break things up a bit. Not over for this guy yet. Seriously, it's not. He's doing well. Like, I've got nothing but really good things to say about him this week. And how was he to know Devens was going to come through with that deep off? That's not exactly something you can manage. He got fapped over. He did, and it's just how the cookie crumbles. And I think though he's not. For a second, I think he was becoming like a dog with a bone, but I think as of today, just from stuff I've seen on feeds today, he seems to be settling more into the idea of maybe it is okay if Kamu goes. Maybe it is best for my game if Kamu goes. And I think that's large in part to some stuff that Mallerie has said to him, But I also think Kamu's very good with words, and all it will take is for him to go back into another room with Kamu, and then Kamu will have him persuaded again. So, yeah, it's hard because when you've got a player like that who can just be swayed that easily, you kind of lose your driving position. But if he does decide to stick his toes in the sand this week and go, all right, yeah, I'm just going to go with the flow here. We'll take Kamu out. He's gone. That's a great out on my HOH. And then I can try and blend back into the fold. We'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah, Yash is doing all right this week. And outside of the mosh pit, he's got the most power. So good lad. Well done, Yash. Moving in to 5th place. We've got Mallerie. Oh, I love Mallerie. I really do. Listen, this is the highest Mallerie's been on the board, and all this massive uphill battle that she's had has finally paid off, it feels like. I want to just read some comments out, see what people are saying. We're talking about Yash here. He almost went from evicted in week 1 to now being one of the strongest positions in the going into the jury, but whoever cut his hair needs to get fired. Everyone's got something to say about Yash's hair, haven't they? Mark says, I think it's still possible that Yash goes far. Once Kamu and or Haley go, they might forget about him and go after each other. Yeah, we'll see. We've seen this season that the dynamic can change like that. All it takes is for them to crack a little bit of an alliance, and then they go, all right, we've cracked that now. Let's find another solid group and put a crack in that as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of love for Mallerie. Who loves Mallerie? In fact, yeah. Let me just leave the floor open right now. Make some noise if you like Mallerie. If you like, love, whatever. Make some noise if you're a Mallerie fan. She's the fan favourite outside of the icons. Like, seriously, she is. In polls, all you've got to do is look at the time capsule vote and notice that the first 3 vote getters were the icons, and then all that was left of the non-icons, and Mallerie was the first to get it. She is fan favourite outside of the icons. She's a contender for America's favourite player for sure. I do think Rick Devens has America's favourite player locked up already. Like, I predicted that before the season as well. In one of my drafts, one of the questions was who was going to win AFP, and I said Rick Devens, and I think I'm already cashing that check. I feel confident about that. But yeah, she's the fan favorite outside of the icons, and you know, not everyone likes her, but she does have the most support. Because listen, in a community like Big Brother, we all know a lot of it thrives on negativity, and a lot of people like to come on every single day, and I don't necessarily think a lot of people realize it, but a lot of people they hate watch. You know, I hate this person. I hate that this is happening. I hate this. I hate that. I hate that. Why are you watching? Go get lost. Like. That's kind of how I feel when I see those people. But yeah, I think of the people that are purely here to support, she has the most support of the non-icons. Haters are going to hate. They always do. That can't be helped. So, Tom Vasey for president. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good. Oh, well, Sam's in support. Yeah. You'd vote for me to be president. You don't even know my policies?
Of course I do.
Well, yeah, I suppose you do. You are married to me. You would know my policies, yeah. Yeah, you know my policies. Yeah. One of my policies. Fap forever.
Fap forever. Yeah.
Fap forever. Vote.
That's all I need to know.
Fap forever. Vasey.
Fap forever is all I need to know.
That's it. Yeah. Fap forever. Fap forever. Vasey. 2028. Which I couldn't actually run for president because I wasn't born here. But there's that. But yeah, hey, why not? Hypothetically, Tom for president, why not? Thank you, Carol. Haley for AFP, says Justin. I think you're joking, Justin. Carol also says Tom needs to get into the BB house. Will be an all-time cakewalk to the final. Easy favourite. Well, that's very, very kind. I don't feel that confident in myself just because I think it's a very dangerous game to get confident in Big Brother, as we've seen this season. But I think I'd give it a good go. I really do. I think I'd do all right. I'm not gonna lie. So Mallerie, isn't she wonderful? I know we've all hyped her up then and glossed over her, but she is finally in a position where she can breathe. Breathe with me, folks. In, out. Can you imagine the 5 weeks Mallerie has spent in there just feeling so, like, I don't know, so stressed and worked up and, just constant state of survival. She's finally landed herself in this mosh pit. And it's actually going to give her some breathing room. So this is really we're gonna figure out, is she able to actually get some grounding now she has some space, or is she going to throw it away? So I'm going to mark Mallerie as the person who's in the most interesting position this week. But she's the highest she's ever been. And she's got numbers now, and she's got people who will go to bat for her. And even of the people outside of the mosh pit, they like Mallerie, just like all of us here, the majority of us here. So Mallory's in a great position. I could potentially see her moving up next week. But 5th seems like a solid position for her right now. The deck, of course, shuffles every week. She's doing all right, though, isn't she, old Mallerie? And she's got a lot of America behind her. So yeah, she's doing all right. Tom, if you made it into the house, would you entertain a showmance? I know. Well, I'm married actually, but if you thought it could help you in the game, would you go for it? It's funny. Me and Sam have actually talked about that, like, because that, just as Big Brother fans, we've always said, if we were to go on, either of us, not just me for that matter, would we entertain a showmance? And I think we're both of the belief that we're both comfortable enough, I think, in our relationship to not necessarily pursue a showmance in the house, but we'd be comfortable enough to play someone, I think, and we'd be okay with the other doing what they have to do, whether it be, because listen, the money's coming back to the both of us. It's not going back to the showmance, or it wouldn't even be a showmance, but even just even flirting to keep someone in line. Flirtmans to keep someone in, flirtmans, but no showmans to keep someone in line. But we both know that the money would be coming right back to us, so I don't think either of us would have any kind of qualms in that. We're both secure enough in our relationship to realize that, we've got a very solid foundation there. So I'm pretty sure Big Brother made Mallerie become Kelly, because if you looked at her social media before she went into the house, I feel like the Mallerie we see on Big Brother is different to this Mallerie on the screen right now. The rocket scientist. She seems a lot more, I don't know, it seems like they kind of dolled her up to look like someone that she isn't, or maybe lean into a stereotype a bit. I don't know. I'm not sure. She's got way more depth to her though than what they presented her as in her bio and her picture. Yeah, I don't know. She's great. I like Mallerie. What else can I say? Okay, let's move in to 4th. Get ready, because I think some people are going to get a bit of a shock here. For the first time, not sitting at number 1, and actually in 4th this week, is D. Wow. This is a big one. Let me just... This feels like a moment to cheers, everyone. Yeah. D's in jeopardy. I think it's finally catching up on her, this big target, and it's slid all of a sudden. And the biggest conversation, I think, actually goes to Devens's Diamond Power of Veto. So D, I mean, she's good enough to get somebody who's got the most OP power in the game to use it on her for a start. So there is no question that she's still near the top. There is no doubt about that. However, my immediate concern was when Devens used the power of veto, it would expose him, bring attention towards him, and people go, oh my god, Devens kept that secret for so long, now we can get him out. It's actually done the reverse. It's kind of switched into, all right, Devens doesn't have a power, But D hasn't played anything. What if D's got a power? What if D's actually hiding something from all of us? Oh my god, D, 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 D. And it's just everyone starting to talk about D. I still stand on business that she is a brilliant player. But the cult of personality has definitely started to catch up on her. Now I want to start singing CM Punk's theme from WWE. There goes Sam. What do you see? A cult of personality. We got any WWE fans in the house tonight? I hope so. But yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. But this power has actually harmed her more than it has helped her. And I don't want to sound like a douchebag saying this, but I also think production, like, they kind of stitched her up with this because the $5,000, nobody's taking the bait. And I get it. If it was an everyday thing, you'd take the bait, right? But it's Big Brother where there's 750k on the line. If you know you've got a chance for 750, you're not going to take the 5, right? And 5k is a lot of money, you know, or at least for a lot of people it is. And I mean, I know it would help me a lot. 5k is a lot. 5k is a lot to me. But I know to a lot of people it's not. And that's evident in the house. A lot of people are already discussing, saying 5k is nothing. I don't want to take the 5k. And I'm sat thinking, come on, like 5k is. I know 5k would help me. I'll say that. I'll put my hands up right there. 5k would be great for me, but I understand for a lot of people it wouldn't. And in a game like this where there is 750k at the end, you do have to look at it from not an outside perspective of how it's going to help you pay the bills. You have to look at it as in actually just weighing out the pros and cons of, do I take this or should I just stick it out? And do I throw myself? I was going to say, and then taxes come and take part of it as well. So, you know, I feel like they should have maybe done like 10 or 15 or maybe 20, even 25. 25 would make it spicy. Because 25, they give out 25 like it's 5,000's chump change for CBS. Like, seriously. But yeah, it's kind of just putting her into this position because not everybody knows it's a bribe as well. A lot of people just think she has a power. Some people know she's got a bribe, but it just wasn't enough to persuade someone. And that's another point as well. Earl Bunyan says, fantastic name by the way, says, should increase the winnings because of inflation. Anyway, I agree. Big Brother should be sat at 1 million by now. There's no reason it shouldn't be. What's crazy to me is that they shortened Survivor and Big Brother's still more than 3 times the length of what Survivor is now. And the money's still less. So, yeah, and also, I'm interested to see what Dee and Devens say when they come out, if they found Big Brother or Survivor more difficult. I know when Cirie did it, Cirie turned around and said, I also think Big Brother's harder than Survivor, and yet the money's less. And yeah, inflation, right. It's like, inflation's a big thing. Just look at the economy. I'm not going to get too much into that, but quite frankly, that amount of money, no matter how much it is, doesn't go as far as it used to go, right? Prices get higher, are getting higher, and pay is staying the same. And that's kind of Big Brother being a microcosm of society, as it is, you know, because that's what Big Brother is at the end of the day. And that 5,000 kind of looks a little bit meh compared to the 750 that is dangling not, you know, too much further away. What is the 3 in arrow? So there was actual suggestion made a few weeks ago. These arrows indicate how much they have gone up or down based on the previous week. So yeah, that 5,000, it's kind of, it's let me separate this because I don't want people to think I'm being rude about this. Personal level, 5,000 would be amazing to me. And I say that hand on my chest. It would be incredible. I'd be a very happy boy. But in the game, it's just it's nothing. It's pale in comparison to what you can get. And throwing yourself, like, because also agreeing to this means you have to compromise something in your game as well. You have to say, I'm not doing something I intended to do. I am actively putting your game in front of mine here for 5,000. It just doesn't seem like it's enough for the game. I'd love to hear more takes as well on the bribe. So Jess says, what if instead of outright saying how much she had for the bribe, she instead lied and said she didn't know how much it would be, just that they'd receive a cash prize? Yeah, I mean, that would be... It's a good shout. It is a good shout, but I think there will be rules. That is, you have to state how much it is. Because it's an eye for an eye. It's a deal, right? You know, you have to know what you're getting in order to give that person the thing they want, if that makes sense. But that would be cool if you could twist it a little bit. That would make it more interesting. That would make it more spicy. Because it's kind of, it just feels a bit dead in the water. I honestly don't, I could be wrong, but I just don't really see anyone taking the bribe. And I know I'm pretty sure it's good to the end of the game, but, and maybe someone will take the bribe if they know they're on the way out the door. If she can hold on to it long enough and it's still in the game, she could actually bribe someone's jury vote. Because that's still a game vote. And that is arguably the most powerful thing you could use the bribe for. A vote to what? Give someone 5,000 because they know they're not going to win the 750 at that point. On the way out the door, say, hey, vote for me to win. You get 5,000 more. And they're going to go, do you know what? You have to pick the person as well who isn't necessarily going to be in the fields. If Kamu gets to jury, maybe come for Kamu and say, hey, because Kamu's probably not going to be in his fields. Although I see someone Kamu's a duck. He's calm above the surface, but his feet are flapping underneath. And I've seen guys like Kamu before, and I just know that the arrogance is just, it doesn't just disappear. It'll just turn into a different font. Like, as soon as he goes to the jury, it'll become a whole righteous integrity thing. I can see it from a mile away. But if you can persuade someone to give them your jury vote for the 5,000, I mean, that's fantastic. Take 5,000 because you're not getting anything anywhere. But I can exchange this for a vote towards 750, thank you very much. So yeah, I could literally talk hours on end about the bribe. I really could. But yeah, all these powers and everything has kind of put a... Everyone panicked. These icons, they have so much power. They've got... People always look very surface level and don't look ahead. And these powers, they eventually come full circle and bite you in the ass. While it looks intimidating at first when you're in a comfortable position, when push comes to shove, your target goes up because you have these powers. So to all the people who thought it was dead in the water all those weeks ago, I welcome you to week 6 and say, hey, look at things changing now. Maybe next time, maybe next year. Take that into account before you start going, oh, it's over, it's a steamroll, oh, no, it's the end of the world. I'm getting a little spicy about this. But my point is, things can change. And sometimes something that looks great can actually turn out bad and vice versa. Let's move in to the top 3. Okay. Barrett has made his way into the top 3 for the first time this season. Gracie, I know you are incredibly excited right now. Make some noise in the chat. Have we got any Barrett fans in the house tonight? Make some noise if you're a Barrett fan. No noise, Sam? You don't want to...
Woo!
You're a Barrett fan?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? I don't believe you for some reason.
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm trying to read your face right now. Like we're on Big Brother.
He's like my top 3, but I like Barrett.
He's nice. He's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. I dog on his game so much, but he's a really nice guy. So, way to go, Barrett. Let's give him a hand for getting into 3. I am very, very, very excited to say that his floating and his wishy-washiness and his lack of a spine has finally managed to get him into a good position. I have trauma from watching Big Brother of seeing the people who don't have a spine amount to nothing. So it's very refreshing to see that someone who doesn't have a spine actually get into a good position in the game. I think this floating's working out. And don't get me wrong, I don't think this was his intention. I don't think because he didn't master plan this. He just sits there and he just lets other people to, put the groups together and do that. It's worked out for him. And that's not to discredit him and say that he's not doing anything right, because he is. He's now in 3rd place and he's got some power. But he is very passive. And he is a super fan at the end of the day, so I do love that. But again, that's another thing. You don't want a super fan to play the way he is. That's my personal opinion. But he... Okay, Gracie says, okay, Barrett, to stay here, we need a win. He need a backbone. I believe in you. Okay, well, if Gracie's saying it, then that says it all. But he's nice, and I'm not denying that for a second. I do. I always like to separate game from personal as much as I can, and he is. If he gets to the final two, his resume is going to be lacking. Let's be honest. People are going to go, okay, Barrett, you played a good social game and you made it like in good terms with people, but what did you do? Like, what did you actually do? And he's going to come up short, and that's going to be real tough to see a super fan choke in the final two and go. Right? You know, that's going to be hard. But we're only halfway through. There is time to turn it around. And I think he can. What that play will be, I don't know. I think when it gets down to it, it's going to be someone who, if someone takes out Devens or D or Angela, that's when you put yourself on the map. Because right now, I would say Devens has got the best case, D's got the second. Kamu's playing aggressively, but I don't think everyone necessarily would vote him to win. A lot of people don't like Kamu, like, actively. I think Yash has actually put himself on the map after this week as well, but he does need to win. He needs to win something. And here's the thing with Barrett: he continues to come in second. He keeps getting so close to winning something, and then it just turns around. But if he can put himself on the map, we'll see. And what I am concerned about though is if Barrett does win head of household, do you guys think he's going to do something that will benefit his game, or do you think he'll do something that benefits D's game? Say Barrett if you think he's going to do something that would help his own game. Say D if you think he's going to do something that would help D's game. I just want to see what the majority of opinions come out. And I really, just as fan to fan right now, I would like to ask everybody to try and get out of who their favourite is and genuinely answer the question on what you think will happen, not on what you hope will happen or what you believe because it's your favourite. I really ask you all right now to dig deep and say, who do you think he's actually going to help when it comes down to it? Do I sound like pro? You gotta dig. This is Survivor. So we've got a Barrett, we've got a D, we've got a Barrett, we've got a D, another D. Okay, so it's three Ds and 2 Barretts right now. We got another D from Honey Drop. Okay, yeah. So majority saying D. I unfortunately feel the same way. I hope he surprises me, but I think he plays scared, I think is the phrase I want to use. Which it can work because playing scared keeps you safe, but it doesn't put you in the power position. It doesn't put you in a driver's seat. And you can only play scared up until a certain point, and then the sharks will eat you up. So, okay, well, Jess is a mess there, who is a fan of Barrett, I believe, says, I think Barrett trusts D's intuition more than his own, and D would be the one. So we've got a couple of people saying Barrett as well. Gracie, on the other hand, I want to entertain another opinion. Gracie says, genuinely, I think he won't follow her that blindly. I think he could be led slightly by her, but wouldn't 100% follow her lead if it didn't help him too. Yeah, I do think there is some middle ground there, isn't there, where there has to be some mutual benefit to what they do. Because, well, I say there has to be, but, we'll see. I'm just going to leave this one on as me saying, I hope in this second half of the game, because he's got himself in a great position now. Look at that bronze badge. He's in third in the TV talks with Thomas Fear. He's in third. It might be different elsewhere, but hey, this is what happens when you come and talk to your friendly neighborhood Brit. He's in a good position right now, and I really don't want him to mess it up. I don't want him to fap it up. Don't fap it up, Barrett. Come on, be a good fapper. Be a good fapper. Do the right fappy thing. And fap your way to victory, my friend. Don't fap D the way to victory. Don't fap D. Don't. That sounded really wrong. Gracie also says, I think D could have influence. Probably will have influence, but I think he would have to think about his own game and it has to benefit him. He's not that dumb. I hope, in brackets. And she says also, and if Barrett wins a power next week, he has potential to make big game moves. And could make it so far with his current positioning. I think he could turn it around. Can we do a snap vote right now, just to get a gauge on who everyone's voting for the power next week? I think it's going to be Drew, but can everyone dump in who they are voting for the power next week? Because again, the live feed spaces, you know, guys, like, it's crazy. We're like less than 5% of the actual audience of Big Brother. Like, live feeders, we make up about which is crazy. We make up about 5% of Big Brother viewers. So the other 95% don't even know what's going on the feed. They're watching the purely edited CBS show. So their votes are going to be drastically different to us. So even if there is a majority amongst us feeders, it's pale in comparison to what whatever the other 95% do, and that's really what matters. But hey, let's look at our little 5% for a second. We've got Drew, Barrett, Barrett, Taylor. I think Barrett would love the mystery competitor power. Drew, my wife says she voted for Drew as well. I think Drew is going to win the power next week. And Barrett could actually get some benefit from that, because I think Drew will let Barrett know what's going on. We got another Barrett, we got another Barrett, we got a Kamu, we got a Drew. So yeah, there's people all over the board there. But yeah, hey, listen, if we're just boiling it down, if the CBS regular casual viewers are on the same wavelength as feeders, it's probably going to be Drew. And yeah, I don't know. I think this could be the moment. Now that Drew, I mean, because as you know, Drew's in the top two. We haven't talked about him yet, but if Drew gets the power next week, he's in a good enough position where he can do some damage with it. Will Drew and Barrett actually do something, or are they going to blow away this position and just leave it for the icons to take again? Because all it's going to take, really, is Dee to have a little bit of recovery, little bit of a bounce back, and then all of a sudden she's at the top again. Especially if a certain someone rolls out the red carpet for her. So we'll see. Watch this space. But if Drew wins a power, I think it could trickle down to Barrett, and Barrett could end up getting a say in what goes on with that power. Let's see. Let's really hope if they can do something with the power that is very likely heading to Drew's way next week. And hell, for all I know, Drew might end up in a red unitard and there is no power at play, but we will see. Okay, Drew's in second place. Don't think that's a surprise to anyone. Oh, well done, Drew. Well done. Camp Rock. I have to say that every single week. Every time I see that picture, it looks like you're watching the Disney Channel. Yeah, Drew is... If you told me a few weeks ago, are you doing the Camp Rock dance?
Yeah.
If you told me a few weeks ago that Drew would be in second, I would have laughed in your face and told you to get off my property. I wouldn't have really. I wouldn't. I'm not an arsehole. But I think the fact that he went from almost being evicted to blending back into the fold tells me that he has game chops. And I'm going to bring Kamu up here because, right, he's the top fap dog. He's Mr. Fapper. Thank you, Second Chance Crafting. I've said fap so many times. This is I've never said fap so many times. I did it on the live feed update and I've somehow outdone it on this one. If that's not enough to get y'all to send super thanks in, I don't know what is. Do I have to say fap 7 more times? I can say it fap. No, I'm not going that low. I have way too much fun with these. Drew is different to Kamu because Kamu's been in that position where he went from the top to the bottom to bouncing back. And now Kamu's gone back down again. He didn't learn his lesson. He's fallen into the same tactics of arrogance. And Drew, on the other hand, has actively gone, let's calm the game down. Let's not play as bouncing back and forth. I'm not a pinball anymore. I am golf. I am croquet. I am not a pinball. And he's just calmed a bit. And the people who can adapt in Big Brother are the best players. The people who actively realise their mistakes. I don't think Haley and Kamu are people that are necessarily capable of seeing mistakes. In my experience with life and Big Brother, arrogant people usually can't look inwardly. And that just means cycle. Loop. Same crap, different day. Drew isn't arrogant. Drew is actually able to look at what went wrong and look how, quite frankly, bad he was playing. And he's managed to stabilize and go, all right, I'm not doing that again. I got another life in this game, and I shouldn't. There's no reason why I should have another life right here. But he's done it. He's freaking done it. And that's why he's bumped up from 7th now to 2nd. This man is a contender for the crown. I'm keeping it short with Drew. I'm keeping it short, but he's doing a lot right. G Tomeo, oh, great to see you. G Tomeo says, Tom, I'm sitting at a beautiful coffee shop here in Taiwan. Fantastic, ready to catch your live. And Lyrics Dad, heavenly intonations come through the speakers. I'm guessing you're talking about Glenn Medeiros singing his wonderful song. I'm not going to sing that too much this week because it was so funny when I sang that one. Me and Sam sang that a little bit on one of the streams the other day, and there was a really angry person in the comments going, "Stop singing! Stop singing! I don't want you singing anymore." Then leave. Get lost. I almost felt like replying, "Oh, I'm really sorry." They said it was really upsetting. That was here. Let's have a laugh. Why not? They said, "Stop singing! Stop! I don't like you singing. I don't like it. It's dreadful. It's uncomfortable or whatever." And I honestly felt, listen, this is life of a YouTuber. I honestly felt like replying, "Oh, I'm really sorry that brought so much dread to you. I'm sorry that was so difficult. My honest advice would be just unsubscribe because I really don't give a shit." That was what I wanted to say. That's the life of a YouTuber. Every single day you get. Listen, see, as you can look at the comment section right now, there's 95% of you guys who are absolutely wonderful, but there's always that 5% that are so bloody miserable with their lives that they just have to turn around and say mean things. And I, for one, think that Glenn Medeiros song is an absolute banger. An absolute banger. Yeah. I can see Sam's even. You want to sing us a little bit, Sam? Gonna change my love for you. By the way, run now. Unsubscribe if you don't like singing. Run, seriously, you're gonna have a heart attack. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. It's a classic. It's a great one. Yeah, Drew's in second. Brilliant. Devens is in first. Mr. Rick Devens has bumped himself up from second to first. The best player this season so far. There he is. Right there. He is... I am astonished. I am absolutely astonished that Rick Devens is the last person to be nominated this season. For every reason under the planet, on the planet, in the universe, there should be a million reasons why Devens should have been on the block already. Yet he hasn't. I am watching an evolution of Devens. 38 Devens. Okay player, could only rely on himself. 50. Great player, had a community around him. And as a result, he was more of a threat. They had to take him out earlier. This time, he's got his community. He's got a level head. He's not really having to play a chaotic. He will at some point. It always happens. It's Rick. But as of right now, Devens, I'm going to keep this simple. D slipped away from that void of the top. And Devens was smooth in second this entire time and was able to sit there and go, all right, there's a void that's open right there. I'm going to go fill that void. He goes, and then in he walks to first place. Everyone loves Rick Devens. I'm sure not everybody in the audience, because that's just life. But in the house, everyone is really a fan of Rick. I don't see a world where he gets to Final 2 and doesn't win. I know obviously the conversation comes up where people go, yeah, you can't vote somebody who's already been in one of these games, or they're a veteran or icon or whatever. We can't vote them to win the game. But it's Rick Devens. He's done so much good this season, and we're only halfway. And now we're going to see real Rick Devens now, because to the folks who've actually never seen him watch Survivor, he is the scrappiest underdog in the history of the show. I'm not kidding. Like, I don't even know how to cut that. There are a lot of underdogs and a lot of scrappy people on Survivor, but in my opinion, none come close to Rick Devens. He has more fight in him than a good chunk of winners. And that's not to say, well, why didn't he win? Because winners aren't always the person who was the most scrappy or who fought the most. But one thing about Rick is he never gives up. He's always got his kids in his mind. He's always thinking of Jack and Juju and his lovely wife, Becca. He has always got them in his mind. Can you all tell I'm a big fan of... I've been following him since I was a teenager. he holds a real special place in my heart. Because another thing about Rick is as well, just to get even poignant for a second, that man, I always talk about Kevin from BB19 as somebody who was an idol to me and, somebody to look up to when I felt like I didn't really have a role model. I also put Rick into that category. There's two. I have one from Big Brother, one from Survivor, because that's what I was doing at that age. That's how I spent those teen years. When stuff was going on, I'd stick my head into Big Brother and Survivor to escape the world, and that's and I found solace in Kevin from 19, and I found solace in Rick Devens from Survivor 38. He means so much to me. He isn't just a reality TV contestant. He's somebody more than that. He's somebody just, and this is Big Brother at its core, right? We all come for the game, but we stay for the people. And Rick has such a big heart. He cares so deeply about the people that he rides for, and he never gives up. And in times when it feels like the world's on your shoulders, and times where it just feels, and hey, listen, I'm talking to everyone right now. We've all been there. I'm looking at you right now. You've been there. We've all been there. We've all had moments where we thought, I don't even know how I'm going to get out of bed this morning. I don't know how I'm going to, do this or climb this mountain or, whatever. You find something in yourself, don't you, that just says, keep going. And I think in a time where I didn't have a lot of that in myself, I looked at Rick Devens and I thought, now this is a guy who doesn't give up. He's got the entire tribe trying to get him out. Literally going for him, talking crap about him so much. And yet he still comes through. He never gives up. And to me, if he wins Big Brother or not, if there are some kids out there, if there are some teenagers out there, if there are adults out there, if there are elderly people out there who watch this guy and he puts a smile on their face, or maybe makes them think, oh, if Rick can do it, so can I. That's winning in itself. I love this man and I can't get enough of him. He's an idol to me, and yeah, I just can't sing his praises enough. He's very, very special to me, and I am overjoyed to see him in at number one. And I'm not just putting him in there for being biased. I've steadily waited to move him in there because I've solidly felt like D has been at the top. But as of now, yeah, Rick's number one, folks. It's the halfway point, and Rick Devens. Yeah, I can. Sam's going in the background. It's the halfway point, and Rick Devens is leading the game. Will it stay that way or will it mix up? But there are your week 6 power rankings. I want to read out the super thanks from E. Gracie, who says, E. Gracie065 says, funding that everyone loves Rick Devens t-shirts. Oh my God, I would totally wear a Rick Devens t-shirt. I need that. I need that in my life. Let me just put a like on that. I'd wear every Rick Devens merch under the sun. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate the kind support every week when you guys show up to do these power rankings with me. It's just nice to have a little bit of a natter, isn't it? And at the end of the day, we're all here to watch a reality show, So I know a lot of people get stuck in the seriousness of the game sometimes, and yeah, the game can get serious. But I started this so many years ago as just it's fun. It's a TV show, and look, there's loads of us here tonight who love the same show, and we're getting to hang out and talk about it. That's a great time in my eyes. Thank you so freaking much for watching, everyone. I appreciate all of your continued support. I will remind you all on your way out to hit the like button if you haven't already. Those likes really do go a long way. And if you want to support me even more, I hope you'd consider becoming a member of the channel. There's some fantastic perks there, so really check that out. And yeah, you can literally support me for as little as $1 a month, and that really does mean a hell of a lot to me, so please consider that. And here's another thing as well. If you do have like questions that you want answered, if you're a head of household member or higher, you can actually drop questions for me and I will answer them every single Sunday. It's like a nice little cozy private video every single Sunday for members only, where you can have your questions answered. And I'll be honest, I am more honest and more raw with my emotions in the exclusive member videos. I obviously like to keep it on the level as much as possible with live feed updates, but when it comes to Tom's diary room, it's the diary room. You're going to really hear what I have to say, so please consider becoming a member. Thank you for watching, everybody, but until your next power rankings, I've been your host, Tom Vasey, and I hope you take care of yourself. Good night, and we're gonna serenade our way out. I'm gonna put everyone get your torches on. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. Bye everyone. Oh, the light's gone out. One more time. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. Bye everyone. Mwah.